Australia's uranium is crucial for India? The complete story of nuclear energy. A rock buried beneath the ground of Australia can light up homes in India thousands of kilometers away. But if this very rock reaches the wrong hands, it can increase the anxiety of the entire world. That is why the trade of uranium is not like ordinary coal, iron or oil. With its every shipment run agreements, tracking, international safeguards and a big question, will its use be for making electricity or for some other purpose? In July 2026, during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Australia, this very old anxiety reached a new turning point. Both countries completed that administrative arrangement, which opens a practical pathway to bring Australian uranium to India. But the real story is not just about two prime ministers, an agreement or a few ships. Hidden behind it is India's rapidly growing electricity need, climate commitments, and a massive dream of 100 gigawatts nuclear power by 2047. Now the question is, why is Australia's uranium considered so necessary in this dream? Does India not have its own uranium? And will large-scale supplies start as soon as this agreement takes place? To understand the story, first that metal has to be understood, by looking at which it might seem like any ordinary rock, but within a small part of which a very large amount of energy is locked. Uranium is a naturally occurring heavy metallic element. It remains present in extremely small amounts in the Earth's rocks, soil and seawater, but useful deposits are found only in certain specific areas. Natural uranium is mainly a mixture of different isotopes. Among these, uranium-238 is the most abundant, while uranium-235 is found in very small amounts and is especially important for controlled nuclear fission. In a nuclear reactor, the nucleus of a uranium atom can break by catching a neutron. This process is called nuclear fission. Upon its breaking, heat, radiation and new neutrons come out. The new neutrons break other atoms and a chain reaction begins. Inside the reactor, this reaction is kept controlled with the help of control rods, coolant and other safety systems. The heat produced from this warms the water. Steam is formed from the water, the steam rotates the turbine, and the generator connected to the turbine produces electricity. Viewed from the outside, a nuclear power plant too can look like a thermal power station. The only difference is that instead of burning coal, heat is produced from nuclear fission inside the reactor. The specialty of nuclear energy is that a large amount of electricity can be made for a long time from a small amount of fuel. During operation, carbon dioxide and smoke do not come out continuously like a coal plant. But this does not mean that nuclear energy is completely trouble-free. Questions like the cost of building a plant, long construction time, radioactive waste, accident risk and decommissioning always remain connected with it. Despite this, nuclear power has a distinct significance for a country like India. Solar energy is available during the day, wind changes with the weather, but a reactor can give electricity continuously for a long time. In this way, nuclear power can help in giving a stable baseload supply to the grid. When factories, trains, hospitals, data centers and cities need electricity 24 hours a day, then such stable capacity becomes useful. Along with the growth of India's economy, electricity demand is also growing rapidly. The pressure on the power system will increase further when people's income, air conditioning, electric mobility, manufacturing and digital infrastructure grow. On the other hand, India also has to limit emissions while reducing dependence on coal. In such a situation, solar, wind, hydro, storage and nuclear, all of these have to be viewed as a large energy mix. The Government of India has set a target to take nuclear power capacity up to 100 gigawatts by 2047. This target is connected to the year when India will complete 100 years of its independence. An idea of how big this target is can be gathered from the fact that India's operational nuclear capacity right now is less than even a tenth part compared to 100 gigawatts. The capacity figure can change due to different official updates and commissioning dates, but around 2025, India's operational nuclear capacity was at a level of approximately 8.8 gigawatts. Therefore, reaching up to 100 gigawatts will not be a job of just installing a few new reactors. For this, the entire chain of technology, capital, trained manpower, manufacturing, land, approvals, fuel and waste management will have to be increased. India has developed indigenous pressurized heavy water reactors, meaning PHWRs, in this direction. These reactors can use natural uranium as fuel and heavy water as moderator and coolant. A big strength of India's PHWR program is that many of its components and engineering capabilities have developed within the country. This supports local manufacturing and technological self-reliance. But a reactor does not run only on concrete, steel and machinery. It also needs reliable nuclear fuel for years. If there is a shortage of fuel, a built reactor cannot give electricity at its full capacity. India has uranium resources present in Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh, Meghalaya, Rajasthan, Telangana and some other regions. Within the country, the work of mining and processing is done by entities like the Uranium Corporation of India. Even so, India's domestic uranium ores are many times of low grade. This means that to extract useful uranium, more rock may have to be mined and processed. Issues related to environmental clearance, land acquisition, local consent, infrastructure and safety also come up in starting new mines. Therefore, relying only on domestic mining is not an easy solution. This is where the role of imported uranium begins. Upon getting fuel supply from different countries, India can make a more stable and diversified fuel chain for its civilian safeguarded reactors. Previously too, India has bought uranium from Kazakhstan, Canada, Russia and other approved suppliers. The joining of Australia is not to remove these countries, but to strengthen the supply options further. A simple rule of energy security is, do not rely on only one supplier for a necessary resource. Political tension, transport disruption or market shortage can affect the supply at any time. Australia is special in this picture because it has one of the world's largest identified uranium resource bases. In terms of economic demonstrated resources, Australia has long been at the very forefront in the world. It is often said that Australia has approximately one-third part of the world's known uranium resources. The exact percentage can change according to the resource category and reporting year, but its global position is very strong. South Australia's Olympic Dam is counted among the world's largest known uranium-bearing deposits. In Australia, uranium is many times found along with copper, gold, and other minerals as well. The interesting thing is that Australia has massive uranium resources, but it does not run commercial nuclear power plants in its electricity system. The uranium extracted there is mainly exported. Australia's export policy is extremely controlled. A company cannot just extract uranium and sell it to any country. Conditions of government permission, bilateral agreements and safeguards have to be fulfilled. Australian uranium is exported only to approved countries for peaceful non-explosive purposes. Responsibilities related to accounting, reporting and tracking on the material do not end even after supply. Now let us return to the nuclear story of India and Australia. Both countries had signed the Civil Nuclear Cooperation Agreement in 2014, and this agreement came into force in 2015. This decision was not ordinary because India is not a member of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, meaning the NPT. Australia traditionally has been viewing non-proliferation conditions in uranium export very seriously. Behind the agreement with India becoming possible, the International Civil Nuclear Cooperation Framework built after 2008 was also important. Following this, the pathway for global fuel and technology cooperation opened with India's civilian nuclear program. Even so, the signing of an agreement and the regular start of commercial exports are two different things. Contracts, permits, safeguards, accounting and administrative procedures have to be prepared on the ground. In 2017, a small trial shipment of uranium was also sent from Australia to India. But after this, Australia could not become a major and regular commercial supplier to India. For many years, the bilateral framework was present, but the wait for complete operational clarity and commercial momentum remained. The new administrative arrangement of July 2026 tries to reduce this very gap. In the joint statement issued after the Australia-India Annual Summit, both leaders welcomed this arrangement. Its objective is to prepare the necessary administrative system to practically implement the 2015 Nuclear Cooperation Agreement. To put it in simple words, previously both countries had agreed on making a door. Now they have decided how the key monitoring and entry register of that door will work. But it would not be correct to say that thousands of tons of uranium will reach India the very next day as soon as the agreement takes place. Separate decisions will still be made on commercial contracts, price, quantity, delivery schedule, and the needs of buyers. Uranium is not bought and sold immediately in the open market like an ordinary commodity. Utilities often enter into long-term contracts because reactors need a predictable fuel supply for many years. In India, imported uranium will be used in those civilian facilities which have been placed under safeguards. Its use for any nuclear explosive purpose will not be permitted. The objective of International Atomic Energy Agency, meaning IAEA, safeguards is to monitor nuclear material and declared facilities so that supplied material is not diverted towards a prohibited military purpose. Under safeguards, arrangements like records, measurements, inspections, seals, surveillance, and material accounting can be used. This means that the story of uranium walks along with documents from the mine to the reactor. This distinction is necessary because India has both civilian and strategic nuclear programs. Imported safeguarded material has to be handled only within the agreed peaceful use framework. For Australia too, this arrangement is not merely a diplomatic gesture. With the new interest in nuclear energy growing in the world, uranium producers are looking for the big markets of the future. Global supply concerns, limited production of old mines and plans for new reactors have made the uranium market important once again. Australia wants to take advantage of its resource strength in this demand. A massive and rapidly growing energy market like India can become a long-term opportunity for the Australian mining sector. Therefore, this agreement is connected with commercial interest along with energy security. For India, the benefit is not limited only until getting the raw material. Upon supply connecting from a stable partner like Australia, scope for competition and negotiation in fuel procurement can increase. A diversified supply gives better planning to utilities. In the event of a mine closing in any one country, sanctions being imposed or a shipping route being affected, other suppliers can reduce the risk. Even so, Australian uranium will not solve every nuclear problem of India. The speed of reactor construction will remain one of the biggest challenges for the 100 gigawatts target. In India, some nuclear projects have grown in both time and cost. Land concerns, contractor delays, equipment supply and regulatory processes can affect the construction schedule. If fuel is available but the reactor is not ready, uranium cannot make electricity. Similarly, if the reactor is ready and fuel is not assured, expensive capacity can get stuck at low utilization.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible, but in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.